here we are. This is Sex Love Psychedelics, and I'm your host, Dr. Kat, bringing you psychosexual conversations that will leave you intellectually turned on and hungry for more. What are some of your favorite tools or resources that you have found that have helped you along your journey with identity alchemy?
Plant medicine has been huge for me.
Yeah, me too.
Love me some good deep mushroom journeys. But it's also like the intention around it, right? I never did any sort of drugs in my life until like 4 years ago. And I read the book How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan, which was revolutionary. And I'm so excited he's coming out with a Netflix show.
Me too.
Because he's been so pivotal for the psychedelic movement that's out now, right? And like how healing psychedelics can be, because like what they're really doing is detaching you from the subconscious loop that's happening in your mind of whatever that story is. And when you start to detach, that's what healing, I would say, is detaching from the narrative that that's who you are, that's your identity, right? Like I am this trauma, my father did this to me when I was a kid, therefore that's who I am. Well, that's not who you are. But like, I think psychedelics help you to kind of like break that attachment so that you're not attached to that as your identity, right? And so that's the alchemy. That's the identity alchemy, is like, really it's letting go of the things that are not serving you. And sometimes that takes really, really deep subconscious work, that takes therapy, that takes, MITT was also great. If I was just recommended, I'd recommend ALA, which is out in Austin. And they basically it's the same curriculum, they just packaged it better.
What is this? Can you describe what MITT is?
Well, MITT was called Mastering Transformational Training, and it's all around. It's kind of like Landmark, where they teach you about limiting beliefs, and it's basically like they teach you the 5% of the conscious mind and how you can shift your thoughts to live more in possibility versus limitation. And that goes so deep, right? But it's really, I was very wowed by the process, because they created all these group interactions, and the way that you show up in these interactions are the way that you actually like show up in life. And it pressure cooks all these emotions to the surface. And then they like, after the exercise is done, they will have like the trainer who's facilitating it all will like, people will share it, and then the trainer will coach that person. And then you have like 4 or 5 different people getting coached in front of everyone, and everyone comes from a different like perspective on life. Because the way that they, we all grew up in a different place, we all see things so differently. So to see somebody to be able to like, you also learn from that, right? So that was a huge, I went all the way to the top, the last one, which was PhD. It was called PhD, and it's like more on public speaking and leadership, and how you interplay, how all the things that you've learned interplay with that. So that was a huge tool for me, and I think all these things, it's like, use them as tools and not as like your religion. I think a lot of people got into the space of like religion, like MITT saved their life, like like Christianity, like Jesus saved your life or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But really it's not. It's like, I'm way more of the self-actualization space of like, you are all that you need. These are all just tools to help you realize who you are and help you become like the fullest expression of yourself. More that we can uncover these layers. Have you ever seen Soul?
Yeah. Oh my God. I love that movie. I cried throughout the whole fucking thing.
It's so good. It's like one of my favorite movies. And it was like all the, I forgot what they call them, but the souls where they were like covered in all the, like the layers and layers and layers. That's
the dark blob. Yeah.
The dark blobs. That's what we're doing, right? Like all this work is just to uncover, like take all those layers off so that we can be fully expressed and live this life fully, because the Matrix just puts all these layers on us.
Yeah.
The Matrix just tells us that like, this is how it is. And
wrong. Propaganda telling us how to believe, what to do. Yeah. So I like the reframe of seeing these plant medicine, MITT, programs like that as tools and catalysts or inspirations, muses, but we are the actual source or medicine for the change.
Yeah, we are. I mean, that's ultimately, it comes down to us and the narrative that we choose to live in, right? Like our world exists within our head and our mind. Like it's all just sensory input.
Yeah.
It's such a weird idea. It's like even more
trips me out.
Feels so much more like a hologram. The more I go down this path, because really, you know, I'm just like, look at what we're doing right now. Like I'm like making noises out of my mouth, and then you're just actually on the other end interpreting what these noises and vibrations are coming out into actual like a thought construct. And this thought construct becomes like a point of consciousness that you know, it's a piece of information that helps somebody else's consciousness develop, or new awarenesses develop, and it's really just all energy and frequency that's being exchanged.
Yeah, like what the fuck, you're tripping right now. Like if you're listening to this, you are now in a psychedelic experience.
Yeah, exactly. It always trips me out. I have these like weird glitches in the matrix where I like zoom out and then I come back into my body. I'm like, whoa,
what the fuck? Yeah. Well, that was fun. Thanks for tuning in, lovers. And if you want to experience more ecstasy and sexual liberation, head over to sexlovepsychedelics.com and learn about how you can join me for any one of my online or live events. And while you're there, grab my free guide on sex and psychedelics. Remember, this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please contact your healthcare provider and local law before pursuing any of the products or psychedelics discussed. And one final note here. I make this show specifically for you. If you're loving the show, then be sure to leave me a review in iTunes or Spotify to let me know. Happy to be here and happy to serve. I'll see you next time on Sex Love Psychedelics.